All right, looks like we'll be jumping into this soon. Seems that way. It appears everyone was ready, just no one wanted to say that they were ready. But I'm going to be trying to use these tools a lot tonight, so keep an eye out. Keep in mind that any stats you see tonight are still from Season 6. We're still too early into the... we're still too early, really, into Season 7 to see much else be useful. But, jumping now into the series... Tomb of the Spider Queen. This was Regen Ghost map, so we are going to see a first pick coming out from into deep here. So Ana going to get banned out early, narrowing the support pool. Ana did get some nerfs today to that talent, but Zeratul, the counter ban, so two pretty consistent meta bans, especially on this map. I like him. Pretty safe. Doesn't look like anything targeted. There's the Anoob, so we have the bananas and the bananoobs. And I'm on the wrong screen, so... Draft switch late. Sorry. But here we go. And then there's the Maiev band, so... Looks like they're trying to target some of those aggressive heroes. I believe Bacon has played some of those heroes, but I could be wrong. I'm not as familiar with Bacon as I am with Key. I'm certainly not as familiar with the other three members of the team, but I will do my best to learn as we go through the night. But first pick coming in, we know Key likes that Stukov. Do we first pick it? It's vulnerable to a lot of CC, as I learned last night when I got poop stomped by Lurk Patrol. I just got punished very badly, but there's a Sylvanas. So Sylvanas really making out a niche as a as kind of a really good single target assassin right now. We haven't seen too much Sylvanas last season, as right now we kind of take a look at her stats here. But we see a Gul'dan and a Joanna coming out. But as you see, Sylvanas only 27% popularity last season. 50% win rate, though, with an average KDA of 5. But Gul'dan, Joanna. So this is very much in line with the meta of the map is we just want to out-clear the lanes. We want to beat you to the wave clear. We want to rotate faster. And Joanna, excellent wave clear, best wave clear of a tank. Gul'dan, best wave clear as a mage, arguably. But there's the Stukov and the Medivh, and that's actually a fantastic combo to grab. As we see, as we do see Shui here getting onto his Stukov here. So let's, or not Shui, excuse me, Key, the other one who ends in E. So we can go ahead, pull that up. Last season went 5-5 on the hero, but really was not dead very often. So yeah, I still kind of prefer the 30-minute one or the 2-minute one. I don't know why. I just call it safety. Anyway, there we go. Anduin banned out, so trying to prevent those saves that can come in from the Anduin. Though, right now, they're in too deep's a bit low on wave clear on this map. I definitely want to see them grab something kind of wave cleary with the last pick. Maybe Blaze could see that, or Leoric in the solo lane. That would be strong. We'll see what happens here. Zul'jin and Malfurion. So there's a lot of single target damage that just came out there. Zul'Kan getting on to the Zul'jin. That broad hero pool showing. I mean, you know, I haven't seen too much Zul'jin in Nexus Gaming Series in organized competitive play, but you know, we're going to pull it out here. We're going to see what happens. Looking forward to it. Meanwhile, there's the Muradin and the Malthael. So, yeah, Malthael's going to have a lot of wave clear, but I'm actually pretty concerned about Into Deep's wave clear on this map. Now, this wasn't their map choice, so maybe this is more a comfort series of picks for them. I don't know. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, waiting for Shui's pick here. And it is the Blaze, so wave clear definitely favoring the members of Regen, Ghost, and Shui, one of those long-time players here in the Nexus Gaming series. He's going to kind of be in that off-lane role, and we can kind of take a look at some of his past accomplishments here as we go ahead and put the player spotlight on him. He has been playing the solo lane role. We've seen a lot of Leoric, we've seen a lot of Dahaka, we've seen a lot of Imperius, but now we're going to see a Blaze. So let's see what happens here as we jump into the match. It's going to be Regen Ghost versus In Too Deep, and I am looking forward to this one. I hope you guys are too. Hype in chat. Let's get into this game. I think it's going to be exciting. Look at all those direwolves. They are living up to the name. But maybe perhaps we won't have to wait until the end of the season for Regen Ghost to get pats. Spoiler alert. Yeah, if I had to pick right now just on spec, I'd say Regen Ghost. Having not seen too much of the players on the other team, so this is just evaluating draft. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to introduce those teams. Here they are. On the left, it's going to be Shui on Blaze, Templar on Joanna, Zul'Kan, going to be playing Zul'Jin, Cuban Missile on Gul'dan, and Kriv on Malfurion. It is Regen Ghost. And on the right, we're going to have Loxley on Muradin, Bacon on Sylvanas, Key on his patented Stukov, Rosai on Malthael, and Grizzly64 going to be on Medivh. They are in too deep. And I almost broke into Sum 41 there, but it didn't happen. But now, we're going to focus here on this mid lane, see how the rotation gets started. Already Blaze splitting off the bottom. We're seeing Rosai kind of in position to match if needed. Rosai in that lower bush, possibly looking to flank as well. Malfurion checks with the Moonfire, looking at the level 1 talents. Zul'Jin gonna go with that Headhunter quest, so getting that extra attack range. Loxley stepping up, taking quite a bit of damage. Gul'dan going with the stacking Corruption, so we'll have to keep an eye on that talent. Malfurion going with that extra damage with the Moonfire. Sylv, of course, going that stacking Dagger. Stukov going with the reactive Ballista Spore. So this is the second time I've seen this, so I'm very interested to see how this talent plays out. I would like to see what kind of value it can get. On a Pale Horse, of course, from Malthael. Well, not of course, it's a very flexible level 1 for him, but trying to get those rotations, it'll help him out quite a bit. But here we go now. Rotations into this mid lane. Good silence combo there from Key, but as yet, kind of that slow wave clear hurting them because now Templar and Zul'Kan doing a very good job disrupting these rotations. But the Medivh portal is going to help out. They're going to be harder to disrupt because of that portal. But now kind of getting behind a bit in those rotations, missing some globes here. Zul'Kan doing a good job getting some auto attacks out, just continuing to be harassment. And now, rather than having a 4-man rotation, we kind of have a 2-2 split, and that could spell disaster here for Bacon. Bacon getting low key with the good heal to keep Bacon alive. Loxy now flanking, needs to be careful. Getting a stack off onto that Gul'dan. Let's take a look at those Gul'dan stacks. Only up to 8. It's early in the game, though, and once we start getting some team fights, those will stack up quite nicely here. As I'm going to turn down the game volume just a touch. It seems a bit loud. There we go. But now, rotations still coming in. Good Muradin stun. Let's take a look at Muradin stacks up to 6. Shui, though, having a hard time with Malthael in this bottom lane. It is not the friendliest matchup for Blaze, but Blaze can soak at the wall as Malthael really doesn't have anything in the way of clear. It's going to be on Bacon to do soak denial. We'll see how well he is at that. Coming in onto Zul'Kan, Dwarf Toss in, but not able to hit that Storm Bolt because of the minions. Now getting body blocked here by Templar. Loxley kind of taking a retreat angle away. Zul'Kan chasing, trying to get every auto attack that he can. Already up to 7 stacks on his You Want Axe, and frankly, yes I do. Ooh, Medivh, portals in, but there's the Malfurion. And the Malfurion, I should have mentioned this in draft, great pick into the Medivh because you can just root the portal. And if anyone comes through, they're going to get punished. Of course, really the big advantage is it just makes it to where no one comes through that portal. And that can work out as well. Let's take a look at those level 4 talents. So far, seems reasonably standard across the board. We are seeing the Strangling Vine, so reducing that healing, trying to reduce that burst heal that Stukov can get out. Although Stukov typically can wait that out, so we'll see what happens here. Soul Rip coming out and Die Alone, forgive me, the Soul Rip upgrade coming out, so that way Rosai can continue to beat Shui in the lane, but Zolcan came down, farmed a couple stacks. Engage coming top, though. Wave clear. Bit awkward at the moment. Both teams with about the same number of gems turned in. Both teams with a turn-in ready. Templart does not yet have a solo turn-in. If he gets 2 more gems, he can be a solo turn-in. Meanwhile, though, gems put in there by Rosai. That's going to enable Grizzly or Key to have the final turn-in to start the phase. And it looks like Key is going for that now. Shui not aware to it, not interrupting. And this is going to be Web Weavers coming in for Into Deep. Very good start here for Into Deep. A little bit unconventional with the comp, but you know, some teams just excel at that. They say, hey, it's unconventional, which means they don't know how to play against it, but we know how to play it. It's working out well for them. Level 7 talents in here. And we are seeing Key going with that growing infestation. He actually took vigorous reuptake. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Obviously, we have the Touch of Death from Malthael, trying to reduce that healing. But there, of course, is the Force of Magic. So trying to get the spell power just to continue stacking. Master's Touch not done yet. At only 12 stacks. Pushing in now. Webweaver, though, just absolutely getting annihilated by this Zul'jin and Gul'dan combo. And Bacon now trying to 1v1 Zolcan. Zolcan gonna back up here because the Medivh shield comes in. Grizzly gonna portal out. So nothing really gained up in that top lane for Into Deep with this turn-in. Meanwhile, mid, because Malthael just really does not put out much in the way of siege damage, mid, some tower damage, but the tower's still standing. So all 6 towers still standing for the members of Regen Ghost. Great defense from them. And that's where I'm worried a bit about the siege damage from the members of Into Deep, as now they basically did not get much value off that turn-in. And in fact, Regen Ghost now leading by about half a level in XP. And if they can get a turn-in, they could get level 10s on that turn-in after they get some structures down. Rosai coming up, trying to help get some of this soak, trying to help with these rotations. Joanna, if she can get that turn in, would be quite beneficial, but of course Joanna also the best at zoning, so playing pretty aggressive. Grizzly stepping into the back. Almost, well actually just over 2/3 of the way done with that Master's Touch, but Loxley very low in the back, needs to let that second wind kick in. Templart quite low, but going to be able to get away. Rosai not able to get the finish, and there's the root combo. Protected by the way though, and he manages to escape. Shui clearing up that bottom lane, then rotating in. Still half a level lead for the members of Regen Ghost as we head towards level 10. Looking forward to that. Taking a look at some of our stats so far. Zul'jin doing the most damage, but we are seeing quite a bit from Sylvanas as well. Malthael and Gul'dan both in second place for their respective teams. Here we go. Key throwing in that slow onto Zul'can. Looks like the engage is onto Zul'can. Are they going to get the kill? Great silence by Key, and that secures the kill right before level 10. Perfect time for Into Deep to get that pick off. It's just what the doctor ordered. That's going to enable them not only to stall the turn-in, but also to grab some gems of their own. They are almost turn-in ready, as well as get level 10 before they really have to worry too much. Templart trying to look for some opportunity to turn in, but there's just too much traffic up there. Templart, though, now looking top. Loxley doing a good job keeping an eye on that Joanna. With 37 gems, is the target easily. Though Gul'dan could finish the turn-in as well if he can find a way to sneak away. Stormbolt coming in. Here comes the engage. Medivh looking for the leyline seal. Do we get the engage? Wailing Arrow only hits Malfurion, though. Little bit of a misfire there. Possibly not timing the Wailing Arrow correct, we'll see, but either way, Zul'can gets low, manages to get away. Engage still coming. Malthael could rotate in. Looks like he's going to do that onto the side. By the way, I haven't called out, we do have a Haymaker. Massive shove, last rites, Wailing Arrow, and a ley line. Blue does manage to get the Web Weaver in. We see Shui with the turn-in. But we have the Taz Dingo. We have the Horrify, the Bless Shield, the Bunker, which could pair well with the Taz Dingo, and the Twilight Dream. Here comes the Condemn, looking for the root. Not really able to get that engaged. Malthael not able to step up with that Twilight Dream. Going to be difficult to do with the Medivh, with the Muradin, but we'll see if he can get a good TD off here. Bless Shield did just come back up. This is a chance for Templar to engage. Bacon's a little bit out of position, potentially. Key missing a massive shove, trying to get someone out of there just to give them a numbers advantage on this defense. Ooh, there's the Bless Shield. Moving on to... What a fantastic shield by Grizzly, saving Bacon's... Well, Bacon, I guess. Loxley gonna get away too. Grizzly with the plays there. This is still going to be a fort going down, but honestly, just not losing anyone there is a win in and of itself. Now it looks like Rosai going to flank onto the side, looking for that last right. It's on the Gul'dan. Horrify comes in, but it's not enough. Twilight Dream only hits Muradin, so now Rosai all over this backline. Here comes the engage. Root, though. Oh, the Condemn into the Root, reducing so much healing. Bacon now coming into the fight, in the fire, going to be able to walk away. But in too deep now with the second kill. Not a lot of kills in this match. They are few and far between, but... There we go. Should I hide the cursor in OBS? Yeah, so the issue here is I do, except my cursor is, it's YOLO mouse, so it overrides that. I will, however, turn off YOLO mouse first chance I get. Obviously not the best time to do it with the Web Weavers. But so far, in too deep, you know, with the unconventional draft doing quite well. Key going to spread that healing, and look at this vigorous reuptake pop if he pops it here. Now he's going to hold it. He has the Regen Globe. Smart decision. Level 13 almost here. Huge level for Stukov. That's when he gets that root combo. Rosai going to push in the top with this Web Weaver. Looks like that's where they want the attention. No, Rosai now rotating the bottom with that on a Pale Horse. Meanwhile, kind of split attention here. Rosai trying to get on the Shui, but we also have an engaged top. We're going to focus on this engaged top here. Leyline Steal only hits Joanna. Not going to secure the best engage. Rosai trying to get on the Shui. There's the last rights. Bunker. Feels bad, man. Oh, and the big root combo, but Medivh getting everyone out with the portal. Come with me if you want to live. Zul'jin not able to get the kill. Grizzly just making so many plays on this Medivh at the moment. Level 13's here. We do have the root combo. We have the Burning Rage. Malthael's still not picking a 13. It's the... okay, so the bonus healing, which is good into the Blaze, that big HP pull. Innervate upgrade here. So going with Revitalize to try to get some mana himself. See what happens. Right now, though, both teams kind of feeling each other out. Obviously, Regen Ghost has a turn-in and then some, but right now not really willing to push in and risk this. They're worried about that gank attempt. While they don't have a turn-in, in too deep, getting in what gems they have, just playing safe. That way, if they get some deaths, they don't have to worry about chasing those gems down. Here in mid lane, clear being made. Now, I expect the rotation into the camp, and that's what's happening. Meanwhile, bottom camp taken by in too deep. Going to push on to this vulnerable fort, especially with the wave clear. Going to probably force someone to come down and clear this. And that is going to potentially be an opportunity for in too deep to get the fight they want. All 5 members are down here at the moment, well, counting Medivh, who is keeping vision on the blue team. Jet charge in. I think Shui maybe... Oh, boy. There's an engage onto Malthael. He's still alive, protected by the way. Can he get the heal? There's the stun. He manages to portal out of there. What great plays once again by Grizzly. He is just showing how damaging Medivh can be to an enemy team's momentum, as every time they almost get a kill, Medivh just starts saving people. Here's a shield for you. Jump in the portal. But Templar gonna get those 55 gems in. Solo turn-in. And it's good to just get those gems off Joanna. You don't want that many. Here comes a push onto mid. Looks like an engage onto Bacon. Condemned, not able to catch it. Mid-keep, or mid-fort will drop. Mid-keep now gonna be threatened. And... you know, despite in too deep having a lot of momentum, they really haven't done much. They've only had the 2 kills. They haven't been able to push in much with the objective. They got 2 forts. But now structures are equalized, and there's an opportunity for a keep for Regen Ghost here. Malthael currently clearing up the top lane. This is a 4v5 defense with a healthy Web Weaver. I'd like to see more aggression here out of Regen Ghost. Is Templar going to move in? Waiting for the tower shots to be on the Web Weaver, I believe. Malthael does clear up that top Web Weaver. Web Weaver mid drops, but now the rotation here onto Malthael. He's taking kind of a awkward rotation. Is he going to get away? The portal not close enough. There's protected, but I don't think... Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so we all agree that Grizzly is a god, yes? Grizzly is a god, and Rosai was just his Lazarus. That was absolutely a save and a half there. Perfectly timed portal, or not portal, perfectly timed shield. Loxley in a bit of trouble now. Ooh, there's a Horrify onto Malthael. Solo in the back line. There's the root cutting Malthael off. Loxley is low. Loxley down. First kill of the game for Regen Ghost. Can they get a second here? They cannot, but this could be a rotation into the boss. We could get a boss turn in. You do have Solcan. He's going to start the boss. He does not need to turn in, as with 66 gems and only 6 needed for turn in. But Medivh going to be able to scout this out. That's going to make him think twice about starting that, and indeed he is going to break off, but they are still going to keep the focus up into this top lane. Muradin still not up for 15 seconds. Ooh, great stun there to prevent Bacon from taking that E escape, but the massive shove peeling out Bacon. So really good saves here by both Key and by Grizzly in this situation. Muradin now up, the defense coming in. Here comes the Web Weaver. Let's see what happens. Loxley jumping in. There's the Haymaker on the Templar. Probably not the ideal target, but Templar is absolutely melting all the same. Lacerite stack there. All the heroics are down. On the red team. Malfurion still has the Twilight Dream. Are we going to get it off? There's the Taz Dingo. Twilight Dream hits many members. Silence onto Grizzly. Grizzly below 100 health, but still manages to walk away. Muradin does go down, but so does Zul'jin. And so this should be a good defense here now for the members of In Too Deep. And I believe they are close to a turn-in. I don't believe they have it, but I could be wrong. I don't know exactly how many gems they had before. They're close. Malthael certainly has quite a few. So, okay, they are turn-in ready. They're actually more than turn-in ready. But they definitely need Rosai to get that turn-in. He's got the bulk of them. He's got the majority of the gems, as well as he has to turn in. That's the only combination that works, is him turning in. Key going to try to drop his 8. Nope, going to back up, let Rosai drop his. Sylv doing that siege camp. They want to push into this Gul'dan with the spell damage. And they're going to get the spell damage reduction, excuse me. They're going to get that. Level 16s, by the way. We do have the Ruinous Affliction now from Gul'dan. That's always critical. Stukov going with that Super Strain. Very strong into the Joanna and the Blaze. That AoE stun producing a lot of burst healing as it significantly out-heals the damage of Condemn itself. So I like that choice a lot. But here we go now. All the quests pretty much in the game finished. But the Bruiser camp that was picked up by Regen Ghost actually kind of winning the day here. And now they're going to be able to rotate and clear up bottom very quick. And now it's incumbent upon In Too Deep to decide what they want to do. Do they want to try to push top? Or are they going to give up the Web Weavers completely, count it as a loss, and try to get the kill? They're trying to separate out Templar. There is the stun. Horrify, though. Oh, my goodness. The protect once again by Rosai, or on Rosai by Medivh. And there's a protect on the Muradin to keep him alive. Grizzly is playing outside of his goddamned mind this game with the protects, finding the protects in the middle of the crowd. If we don't see a Medivh respect band the next game, I don't know when we'll see it. But there's a big root trying to disengage, but down goes Blaze, and now down goes Joanna, and In Too Deep with 5 men up and level 20 almost within grasp. It's going to trickle over any moment now. Are they going to try to end the game? They don't have the most siege damage. Gul'dan is decent on this defense, We'll see what happens now. Loxley taking a lot of damage from that Ruinous Affliction, as is Rosai. I think they're at least trying to get the wall to open up a win condition, but they don't succeed in doing that just yet. Looks like they want to actually turn their focus now onto boss with the level 20. We got the rewind, we got the top off, we got no one can stop death. We have Bolt of the Storm, and we have Guardian of Tirisfal, which is, you know, so if you were worried about wave clear, wave clear, not a problem anymore. Wave clear is over. Stop trying to make wave clear a thing. No, obviously, good choice onto the map, and good choice given their comp. It's really going to allow Medivh to just make sure that they can't get out macroed in this situation. So now, got to be careful of that Muradin Haymaker. He's made it work very well, even onto Joanna, who you would think is pretty unkillable otherwise. Still no level 20, waiting for it to tick. Here comes the defense. Level 20 almost going to be there. These minions are going to feed it. Templar moving in. Lockley probably tried to jump for the Haymaker, but doesn't quite get the right angle. Malthael steps up into the root, but he's okay. Here comes the portal into the back. Haymaker now onto Zul'Kan. Zul'Kan going to be the focus. Looks like we had a missed ultimate there, though. And now the big Horrify onto Malthael and Muradin, pushing them into the fight. Malthael, though, going to be able to self-sustain. There's the Protected on the Muradin, who stays alive once again and does drop below 200 health, but manages to stay alive. And once again, Grizzly enables his team to get the first kill, saving someone on the brink of death, but he doesn't have the cooldown in time to save Bacon, who now goes down. Here comes the Taz Dingo, protected, by the way, though. Zul'Jin will drop as soon as this unkillable ends. No, he won't, because he took the level 20 upgrade, and so he healed out all that damage, and now this is a turnaround situation, as we do have a kill onto Malthael. He does take No One Can Stop Death, but Grizzly managing to get the kill there with the Medivh. Oh my goodness. I want some Grizzly t-shirts made. I will buy one. He is playing extraordinarily well. I mean, we're seeing a lot of good plays from In Too Deep on players, but it's all being kicked off by Grizzly. Grizzly's really just enabling all of it. My goodness. Here we go. So, both teams kind of just recuperating, waiting for their death timers to end. We are having Muradin up a little bit before Blaze. Pardon me. Medivh. Watching them take the siege camp. Bottom camp taken by Rosai. Key and Bacon going to take the Bruiser camp on the other side. So both Bruiser camps going to meet in the middle here. And there we go. So now pushing up into this mid lane. Templar in the bush. Medivh spies it out, though. Don't expect to see anything too cheeky here. Level 20s for both teams. We do have the Haunt upgrade, and here comes a team fight now. The spell damage mages are both down. Ooh, there's a root by Muradin. Has to bring out the early protect. Key with a great massive shove on the Templar, as well as the ley line to secure the disengage. If the ley line didn't come in, I think Key could have gotten engaged on there. Probably would not have gone well for In Too Deep, but Key's been staying really safe this game, has stepped up for some good massive shoves, so In Too Deep doing fine for now. It's kind of a race for who can get the next turn in. It's a race that you have an ever so slight lead on the side of Regen Ghost. We'll see what happens. Both teams down to keeps. No keep taken yet this game. This is a very tense game. Monka S in chat, please. As both teams kind of just feeling each other out. Kind of no one wants to try to make the first move. Both teams just have such exceptionally strong counter engage. As man, that Enduring Will is really getting value here. Just the Grizzly Medivh play has been, I know I keep talking about it, but oh my god, it is just exceptional. It has rendered me speechless at times in this game, and I talk way too much. Anyway, looks like a push in on the top, wanting to get that keep. It's so low, but it's still standing. They just want to get that catapult. Malthael, I think, serving as bait with the Medivh here to try to ensure that they can walk up and grab this, and in fact, that is done. Smart heads-up play there, just knowing, hey, it's not like he's going to die. We have Grizzly Medivh. So good play there, getting the ever-present catapults in that top lane. That's going to make the rotations of Regen Ghost a bit more predictable and a bit more scheduled. Should allow bottom camp control much more regularly for the members of In Too Deep. And this is shaping up to be an exceptional series. Already an exceptional game one. Really showcasing some playmaking skills. Now, Murden checking that boss, just making sure. Oh, it looks like he's actually going to start it. So we are seeing the boss get started. Is Regen Ghost going to sniff it out? I think they are. Is this the throw pit? Medivh sees the team. There's the Moonfire. They see Loxley. They see the boss being taken. The boss is low. Do we get the ley line? Massive shove by Key. Fantastic massive shove to get Joanna out of the fight. And that is going to secure the boss. Key with the play there. Stepping up. High accuracy. Has to be accurate there. He can get turned around. Zolcan now very low, but there's the Taz Dingo. Bacon getting low. Here comes the Blessed Shield. Murden getting the protected. Bacon still trying to get out of there. Loxley is dropping. Loxley is down. The boss, though, will move on to the core. Here comes the back from Zolcan. He can put up quite a defense if he can get back. Meanwhile, the back's trying to be stopped here by Rosai, but he doesn't actually manage to stop the Joanna or the Gul'dan back. This boss is on the core, but it should drop rather quickly. Let's see if they get any real damage. Thank you, Slexia, for the 690 bits. Nice. Nice. This is just a stellar game, though. 69% on the core. Nice. Nice. Oh, boy. I am a child. But here comes the red turn-in. Blue was going for the turn-in, but managed to get dropped in here by Rosai. Now, the situation is that I don't believe they will get another turn-in this game. Whether that's because they end here or whether it's because, you know, they throw. The point is they would need 70 gems. Blue is probably going to be able to double up turn-in before red will get another one. So let's see, though. Murden rejoining the team. Looks like the focus is onto this bot lane. Trying to get split catapults. I like this decision. Webweaver in mid, gonna get blown up. Bacon stepping up, silencing. Here comes the blind. Templar, though, is stepping up quite aggressively. There's the Blessed Shield onto Bacon. Jet Charge, though, is a miss. Haymaker onto Zolcan, getting that Zul'jin out of the fight. Really just trying to get this keep. Rosai now moving into the back. There's the ley line. Manages to collect onto Joanna. Now Key stepping up, trying to get the heal out. Are we going to get a good massive shove that will enable them to secure this keep? Ooh, Rosai is low. There's the protected, by the way. Silence coming in, but Malthael goes down. He does have no one can stop death, and he comes back. Gul'dan, however, will not come back as he just dropped, and that's a 60-second death timer. There's the Twilight Dream, but the damage is there. The core drops. What an excellent game by In Too Deep. Really good game by Regen Ghost. It was just that ultimately, I mean, you got to give Medivh credit. Grizzly was the playmaker there. And you're right, they did go Sledgehammer, got that value on to the boss. And real quick, I just want to pull up something here. Let's see if we have any stats from previous days on Grizzly. Let's see if we can get that. No previous stats on Grizzly, so I don't have that to pull up, but his Medivh play certainly well earning the MVP that game. So with that, we're going to be moving into game number 2. Count map 1 in favor of In Too Deep. I will be right back with the next map. See everyone in just a second. Welcome back, everyone, here to the Nexus Gaming Series. Game number 2 here between Into Deep and Regen Ghost. We had a barn burner for game number 1. Into Deep played exceptionally, but I think you just gotta give props to Grizzly there. I wanted to pull up his player profile page. Fortunately, he doesn't appear to have stats for Nexus Gaming Series for Season 6, so I wasn't able to pull those up, but I would not be surprised if we did not see Medivh again this series. I don't think anyone here would be surprised. But let's see what happens. Battlefield of Eternity. This was Regen Ghost map, so they still want to keep that map pick. They don't want to swap that up. So first pick still over to Into Deep. Let's see what we get. There's a ban onto the Sylvanas. So this was a hero Bacon took pretty late in the draft last time, but looks like they think Sylvanas, with that single target damage, could help with the Immortal Born, but it's Immortal Born. Wow. The Immortal Burn. And so shutting down those towers as well, even briefly, can really help the Immortal get that extra value. Sticking with the Ana ban is, actually, no, that was banned out by Into Deep last time, but Ana still getting banned out here by Regen Ghost, not wanting to let Key get onto that hero. It shows how strong Ana is when, Key was happy to take Stukov last game, played extremely well, but even still, the Ana ban coming in, Key has an exceptional Ana. I don't mean to in any way imply otherwise, just that's how strong Ana is, that given Key's truly exceptional Stukov play, that's still the deeper threat. Do we get the Medivh ban here? We do get the Medivh ban. So Anubarak banned out, and there's the Medivh. Well earned. That is absolutely a respect ban and a half, and it is the most earned respect ban I've ever seen in one game. Truly exceptional play there by Grizzly. I'm excited to see what he can do on another hero, though, as we are going to see that. Key getting onto Tyrande, so going with the map pick over what would you'd historically think of as Comfort, though again, I know Key has really worked on his hero pool, so his Tyrande, every time I've seen it, it's been very strong. And it's kind of the predominant healer you want to pick on this map. Helps with the Immortal Burn. It's easy to get those free auto attacks off. Anduin Alarak. Interesting. So, Alarak is one of those heroes that in the hands of someone comfortable on them can be quite devastating indeed, really. And so we are going to see the Anduin here being played by Kriv, but let's go ahead and see real quick. Take a look at how Zul'Kan's Alarak has done in Season 6. No, we don't have any data. Oh, no. Well, we are going to see Rosai back onto that Malthael, Loxley back onto the Muradin. So sticking with comfort picks, and you do have the Miranda combo, but Anduin going to help counter that out. We'll see what happens here. What is the next ban going to be? Do they ban out maybe something like the Li Ming to get that gives them poke, or do they go with maybe a bruiser? It's the Vala, so they're worried about kind of more burn coming in, possibly a Bacon comfort pick there, the Vala. So trying to get rid of that. What is a barn burner? A barn burner is it's an expression that's used for like a very exciting event. It's often used in sports. I am from West Virginia, so I've probably lived in a barn at some point, and I have no teeth. And those are all the stereotypes I can think of off the top of my head. But Joanna, going to be the ban. Joanna, very strong tank at the moment, trying to get that off the table. Makes it difficult to engage because you have to worry about that condemn on the very short cooldown coming up and getting you. But there is the Garrosh coming in from Templart. So Garrosh, very strong, great separation, and it's going to be hard. Key will then have to step up to heal, making him vulnerable to the Alarak. Cuban Missile getting onto the Hanzo, great Immortal Burn, and a really good poke, which is something Tyrande can struggle with at times. What? Okay, all right, I like this. We are getting Bacon onto Ariel now. And Grizzly going to be on Cassia. So Grizzly going to really be the hyper carry here. Ariel does bring quite a bit of damage. And so they're going with a double support, trying to just go with the Immortal Cassia comp. And there's a lot of ways to save Cassia here. And really, that Aegis could be used much like the Protected was used in the last fight. Shui, meanwhile, grabbing onto the Phoenix as the solo laner. Or it could still be Alarak, but I would expect Phoenix in the solo lane into the Malthael. But this is exciting. So let's go ahead and see here what we can find out about Shui on this Phoenix. If we have... No, we don't have anything played here before. Well, I'm trying, folks. I'm trying to show cool stats, but... yeah, we don't have really too much in the way of stats. We're building off Season 6 stats, so I'm trying to show all these cool pop-ups, but there's not really the data to do that. But let's go ahead and take a look at Templart. Put the focus on him. He's going to have to make a big play here to... big play or two here with flips. Whoopsies. We don't have any data on Templart. Okay. This is just going really well. Anyway, we've tried Twitch chat. We have tried. But moving now into the match. On the left side, looking to even up the series. It is going to be, let's give some cheers in chat for Regen Ghost, Shui on Phoenix. We're going to have Templart on Garrosh, Zul'Kan on Alarak, Cuban Missile on Hanzo, and Kriv on Anduin. And over on the right, it's In Too Deep, looking to close this out with the domination. Got Loxley back on Muradin, Bacon on the Ariel, Key on Tyrande. We're going to have Rosai once again on that Malthael, and Grizzly. Showed off last game on Medivh. Now let's see what he does on the Cassia. So moving in, taking a look, level 1 talents. Cassia not going with the Charge Strike, instead going with the Thunderstroke, trying to get that poke out. Tried to get the throw there, Templart, missed it. Did execute the combo correctly, but didn't have anyone to flip. Bold strategy out from the Anduin. We do have the W build coming out from Hanzo. Phoenix going with that Stutter Step build. Pretty standard talents all around. The Searing Light, trying to just add to the damage a bit. But yeah, no, I agree, Wono. Oh, there's a good flip onto Loxley. The follow-up route is there. He should be okay. Good stun there. Good follow-up stun. The communication and the timing there by Key. Key with the very patient Lunar Flare to make sure it gets maximum stun value. They get every bit of damage they can. I'm loving it. Alarak tries to go with the combo onto Bacon. Just a little bit off target with it. Alarak is going with that Lightning Strike build. Take a look here at the damage numbers, obviously early in the game, but Cassia needs to do a lot of damage, but there is a flip onto Grizzly, but Alun's chosen at level 1, lull. As we see Grizzly be fine with the Ariel, with the Tyrande. So much healing potential. But health bar is getting a little low. Bacon needs to be careful. Could get flipped. Loxley jumps in, gets rooted, and gets killed by the Alarak. First kill now for Regen Ghost. Let's see if they can build on that. Get some momentum into this game. They are having the rotation down into the bot siege camp. Garrosh going to do some good zoning here. Meanwhile, up in the top, Malthael actually managing to sneak this top camp. Doing very well into Shui to be able to get that camp. And actually, the Impalers, the Cosmos, just got buffed today. They got a significant buff. It was about a 30% damage buff. Well, not about, it was exactly a 30% damage buff from 50 to 65. So we'll see what they do now if they're helpful. They've always kind of been the weakest camp, but meanwhile, both teams grabbing their bruisers. Obviously, the better camp clear right now on the side of Regen Ghost, but still it's enough. Loxley getting kind of displaced a lot. There's a ton of displacement with the Alarak and the Garrosh, and you can actually do the pull into the Garrosh flip stun. Sorry, W's telekinesis, that's right. I meant E, the lightning strike build. I believe it's E. I don't play a ton of Alarak, so forgive me there, Wono. But we're getting the Immortal burn. Both teams just hard committing to that burn. Now they're probably going to break off and clear their respective lanes. Although Phoenix and Malthael doing the clearing. At this point, we are potentially seeing an invasion here. This is an early defense, and with death timer short, this early defense can always be an awkward setup. There's the engage onto Alarak, but the heals are coming in both from himself and from Tyrande, and Garrosh taking a ton of damage, and Garrosh is going to go down, actually getting stunned out by the objective. He had to run, his health was low, but he just didn't have anywhere to go. Meanwhile, we are seeing Moral Compass out from Anduin. I love seeing the Anduin build, seeing what everyone is doing. Garrosh, of course, going with Indomitable. Pretty standard builds based off what the last pick was. Sledgehammer once again for Muradin, just trying to hope that burn. Great Alarak combo there. Bacon and Grizzly both low. Now Loxley trying to back up as well. Garrosh looking for the flip. Finds it onto Grizzly. Grizzly in a bad spot. Grizzly is going to go down. Stun comes in from the Immortal to lower Templar, but it's not enough. And it looks like Regen Ghost is going to win this first objective. And it's going to push up in this top lane. So good start there for Regen Ghost. Push up coming in. Hanzo, arrow over the wall. Pretty standard maneuver to get that vision. Looking for that flip potential. Bacon in a good spot there inside of the Warbreaker, so not going to get the stun. With the wall up, doesn't have to worry about the flip. Into the fray coming out from Garrosh. Always exciting. Let's see what kind of plays that makes. Level 7s here for both teams, but they came just a little bit earlier for Regen Ghost. Still picking level 7s are in too deep. The fort does go down, and this was a low health Immortal, so to get a fort down is absolutely gangbusters. For the members of Regen Ghost, really going to help them solidify an early lead in this game, as that Immortal barely had any health and it got a ton of value. With so much damage, with the Hanzo, with the Alarak, it's just it's gonna get value. Here we go now, Loxley starting this top camp, bottom camp here, already taken by Shui and Cuban Missile. Garrosh trying to get onto Grizzly. Grizzly in a bad spot. Good knockback there by Bacon. Saving Grizzly's, well, Bacon once again. Malthael getting the top lane. Going to get a lead on this top so because Shui is just now starting to rotate in. But there is a catapult here, so you want to make sure that you get that down. Meanwhile, we're seeing a push in here into bottom. One of the towers already down. The second tower is dropping. This could enable a very aggressive push in. Zolcan stepping up, getting a lot of value with that compass, hitting a lot of people, keeping his team topped off very, very strongly. And we are actually seeing, I just realized, Zolcan on the support, even though Kriv played the Malfurion last game. So perhaps this is a comfort, but now Kriv gonna get cleansed out there. Heals coming in from Zolcan. The health bars are dropping. Can Zolcan get that heal out? He does. There you see the value of bold strategy. A lot of heals coming out just from all that extra damage. And Regen Ghost disengaging there is a huge win. When you're winning the race to level 10 like they are right now, when you have control of the map, just not dying is a victory. And they're going to trade bruiser camps once again. Both forts still standing, but the bruiser camp bottom could potentially get more value with the fort wall already down. See what happens as we are seeing both teams start this fight defensively. Phoenix pushing up this bot lane, trying to evoke some kind of impatience or panic on the side of in too deep. Rozai checks in once again, just a little bit off on that Alarak there from Kriv. This is interesting because I know Zolcan has played Alarak before. I've played with him when he's played Alarak, so a bit surprised to see that swap. But so far it's working out well. Zolcan's Anduin very, very strong. And ooh, there comes a big engage. Heroics being thrown out. There's the salvo. So far no kills. There's the salvation, just trying to act as kind of a sustained heal. But here comes Rozai now with the last rites, and without that salvation to neuter it, last rites could get a lot of value. We are seeing the defense here. Flip there onto Rosai. Rosai getting on to Templart. Templart with the last rites. The cleanse is not going to be enough. Now Kriv is low, as is Rosai. Rosai getting focused here by Hanzo. Below 200 HP. Does manage to survive, and that was a really good fight by In Too Deep. They're doing really well with the chaos. It seems the more chaotic the fight is, the harder it is to read what's going on, the better we're seeing Grizzly and Rosai kind of make these plays. And that's a really strong trait to have, to be able to interpret chaos and make the right decision. And it seems that In Too Deep is just doing it better when the fights get really, really hectic. So kudos to them. Heroics starting to come back up for both teams. We have the Dragon's Arrow, the Warlord's Challenge, so there's a potential metric ton of CC there. Meanwhile, we do have the Aegis to save. And if they try to Death Ball, that can be punished by the Lightning Ball. Stun into the bush onto Garrosh. Follow-up stun, but now Bacon in a lot of trouble. Has to self-Aegis there. Is low health. There's the Warlord's Challenge. Bacon is going to drop, as is Loxy, trying to get the save. But there is the last right securing the kill onto Garrosh. It's a 2-for-1 trade at the moment, but this should allow Regen Ghost to get some damage onto this Immortal. Meanwhile, a Catapult is starting to push up into this top lane. It's getting close to the wall. Something's going to have to give here for In Too Deep. Are they going to give this Immortal? It looks like they're going to do that, but as soon as they go to retreat, there comes the root and the slow onto Rosai. Rosai taking the salvo. Rosai is very low, but he's going to escape just in the nick of time. I think if Regen Ghost wanted to commit a little bit more, maybe they get that kill, but they were worried about In Too Deep coming back up now, trying to get this Immortal burn. This game is very even, just like last time. Both Immortals quite low. A little bit more on the side. Oh, there's a good taunt. Stun into the Immortal. Loxley having to jump away. Aegis used onto Rosai. Might have been a misclick. A Loon chosen, though. Going to get Loxley back into this fight very soon. And so far, no commit on the fight. We still have the Salvation up to deal with last rites. Rosai going to take a Hanzo arrow there. There comes the stun onto Cassia. Dragon's Arrow with the follow-up. Haymaker knocking Templart out just to try to disengage this. Here comes Malthael moving in. 1v5. Going to get stunned and killed by the Immortal, but the kill is onto Garrosh. Dies before the Salvation can save him. But Oriel getting displaced by that Alarak. He's going to go down. So once again, another 2-for-1 trade, but this time they're going to get even more out of it as the kill on to Cassia by Hanzo. Hanzo's starting to really do some work here. Let's take a look at those damage numbers. We can see Alarak leading the way with damage, but Hanzo really starting to ramp up here, starting to find some kills. I mean, we're seeing In Too Deep be able to kill that Garrosh, but it just seems like they can't really switch target well enough to get another kill. So we're going to see what happens. Bot Fort already going to go down before the Immortal lands. This isn't a super healthy Immortal, but last time it wasn't a super healthy Immortal either, and it managed to get Fort, so we'll see how much damage can go onto the keep here. Level 13 already here for Regen Ghost. In Too Deep about to get level 13, but still not there just yet. There's the pull onto Loxley. Once again, the Immortal starting to help chunk down this wall. The first tower is going to fall. The gate's going to drop next, and then it'll be the bottom tower. Bacon stepping up, throwing a Q, trying to build up that Hope. Hope Crown is onto Cassia. Good job by Blue, staying on the same side, making sure that they're together in a position where they can support each other. Salvo trying to set up a disengage. Loxley thinking about engaging into the back line, but just too separated from the team, thinks better of it. And that is a keep down. And once again, not a healthy Immortal, but Regen Ghost makes the most of it. They get really two structures there. I mean, the fort was going to die regardless, but to get a keep with that low health Immortal at level 13, that's very valuable, and that's going to set up a lot of push in this bot lane, as now it's a Kata every wave versus no Kata because the fort is still standing. It's one structure to 4. In Too Deep, going to have to make something happen here to get back into this game. That's the thing. Ever since these XP changes, you don't see like 3-level situations as much anymore. When you do, it's usually just because of a stomp. But usually, I mean, these 1-level gaps, even at this point, can indicate anymore that there's quite a big difference on the map in terms of control, and structurally, that's certainly the case. As Siege Camp going to get picked up bot these Impalers. So far, it doesn't seem like that Impaler buff has done too much, but I haven't been paying the most attention in the world, admittedly. There's been a lot of good team fighting to watch. No one right now clearing the top lane. They want to fight here before level 16s. Looks like they're going to push up to this bottom. Garrosh going to try to flip. Stun's a miss. There we go. And Zolcan going with enchant boots. I've been seeing that talent more, and I'm really starting to dig it. I mean, obviously, if you take that, you're taking the second cleanse at level 20. We'll see how much value that gets. Meanwhile, though, we are seeing a straight burn race here, but of course the burn race very much going to favor Regen Ghost. They're already 3/4 of the way down, and so this is going to provoke an invade here by Into Deep. They want this fight at the moment. And making the decision to zone out. It's going to allow Zolcan, though, to rotate top, start clearing this wave, as is the rest of the team. But here comes the engage now. Aegis trying to separate out the team. Lots of damage coming out. Great stun, but an amazing cleanse salvation there on the side of Zolcan. I think he was anticipating the last rites, and still, though, good salvation. Excellent cleanse. And now the kind of poke war begins. Still not halfway just yet, but starting to poke to get there. The Hanzo's going to help into the fray use to save Zolcan. Here comes the engage now. There's the stun on the Templar, and Garrosh going to go down. That's his 5th death of the match. He's definitely been the focus of Into Deep. But now the question is Locksley going to get away? Needs to be careful. This Alarak has punished on the retreat more than once. Lightwell going to be dropped, trying to encourage Kriv to step up and look for something. This is still a 5v4, but the health bars are extraordinarily low on the side of Into Deep. And with no one burning now, Rosei kind of having to double down to this engage, but Rosei separated from the team, going to go down. A little bit of a misplay there, and now Tyrande, who stepped up to save, is going to be the next to fall. Brown is now on the retreat. Grizzly as well. Are they going to catch them? There's the root. Ooh, good pushback there by Locksley, but Grizzly is going to drop. Locksley likely to be the next to follow, and down he goes, and it is a 4-for-1 trade there at the end of it. And with catapults on the core now, Bacon just clearing. It looks like they're going to try to end this game. The shields are down. They have a very broken Bacon defender. A little bit of a cheeky Dragon's Arrow there, trying to go for the kill, but they can just move onto this structure. Malthael going to be up in 4 seconds. Tyrande up in 3, but the big damage dealer Cassia is down for another 13, and the core will not last that long. There's the salvo, trying to ensure maximum burn time. Knockback there, though. Zolcan is low. Here comes the last rites. Anduin does go down. The core is dropping, though. The core is at 5%, and it is going to go down, and we are going to a Game 3. Much, much, much better showing there by the members of Regen Ghost. Really, really strong game for them, as we got to see them flex a bit. Templar, yeah, you know, he was getting picked a bit, but that's because he was up front setting up engages. Definitely got the focus of the last rites, and it seemed like after they blew last rites with that double support, we just didn't really get enough damage, it seemed, out of Into Deep, even with a 5 versus 4 advantage. And it seemed like they were just taking a lot of damage from poke from the Alarak, poke from the Phoenix, poke from the Hanzo, and the double support really wasn't healing up quick enough to enable those re-engages. So a great match heads to a game number 3. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Next is Gaming Series. The the ultimate map, the final map here, will in fact be Infernal Shrines, picked by Into Deep, their first map pick of the night. Love me some Diablo maps, always a fun one to watch. Moving in, we're going to have Regen Ghost here versus Into Deep. Looking forward to this one. We've seen kind of different strategies form in this series. Obviously, I would expect a Medivh ban again. I don't expect Medivh to get through. This is already one of Medivh's best maps. But there's been a lot of just really good team fighting. A lot of saves, a lot of re-engages. It's just been fun to watch. Every fight has played out like a chess match. This has been one of the best series I've ever casted, and I wish it were a best of 5. I honestly do. This series is worth a best of 5. Unfortunately, we're going to come to the end of it right here. But what a stellar map to come to the end. Great team fight potential. Great objective. The thing I love about Infernal Shrines is the diversity you can have. You can really play that shrine control, but you can also play a macro game or a team fight game, and it can pay off. There's a lot of heroes that stand out on this map and can really be strong that maybe get overshadowed on other maps. You know, Kael'thas, for example. I don't necessarily see we'll see that, but Kael'thas can be very good on this map with the Shrine Control, Gul'dan as well. We do have the Zeratul, the Medivh, the Anduin, and the Sylvanas ban, and Anduin's kind of figured into the series. He's participated in every game. He's been banned twice, picked once, and to great effect in that last game. And just kind of taking a look here, Anubarak going to be the first pick. So first time Anubarak got through draft. Let's go ahead and pull up some stats here. You can see Anubarak 78% popularity with a 55% win rate. Pretty high average KDA, 4. Quite strong in competitive play. And Templar going to be jumping on to that Anubarak. So looking forward to that one. Meanwhile, though, Ana was left up, so we're going to get the Junkrat and the Ana. So Ana finally showing up into this series. Gonna go ahead and take a look at some stats for her as well. As Key jumps onto that Ana. 68% probability. That was last season, admittedly. Ana got some changes about halfway through the season. Very high participation rate after that. 53% win rate. As the teams move into this. There's Maiev Tyrande. So this is going to be a very aggressive comp here on the side. And this is already playing out to be a fantastic draft because we have hyper aggression really on the side of Regen Ghost versus we want to sit back, we want to poke, we want to wait for our opportunity already on the side of Into Deep. So excited to see what this happens. And now Grizzly moving on to that Junkrat. So excited to see what he can do on that hero. A lot of playmaking potential, certainly a lot of potential for some saves with that concussion mine. So I hope that my jaw once again finds its way to the floor in this series. Orphea ban, trying to deny that blow-up that's very strong with Maiev. Could potentially combo up the ults with Maiev extremely well, plus good shrine clear, so a sensible ban. Joanna getting banned, denying arguably the best tank left on the map. Certainly someone that can counter Maiev with the blind, so a good choice there. This is already shaping up to be a really fantastic game, and I'm excited for it. I mean, this series has just been so fun to cast, and I'm really excited to see what Zolcan can do on Maiev. Kriv moving on to Tyrande here. Good playmaking hero, but the Blaze and the Rainer. So a lot of poke damage coming out with the Rainer, auto attack focused. Blaze potentially with the bunker to save his team, although Combustion has been a common pick. We are not seeing Rosai onto that Malthael again, so we are seeing a change up there. Bacon moving on to that ranged assassin, Rainer. And Rainer has, you know, he's kind of stepped up a lot in the meta. I mean, he's kind of competed with Hanzo and Phoenix for kind of that role as a primary assassin. But as we take a look last season, we see that Rainer, 50% popularity, pretty high. Average KDA of 5, very strong. But there we have the Jaina and Leoric. So a classic combo. The what do we call that? The refrigerator. Give me names, chat. The icebox, Entomb, Blizzard. Very strong potentially. Cuban Missile jumping on to that mage. And again, hyper aggression, hyper burst, but there's the Diablo. So Diablo pick's interesting, because Diablo typically you think aggressive, he wants to engage, but he's going to probably act as more a peeler and look for those shoves against the walls potential to get someone low for Junkrat and Raynor to finish. So very, very interesting draft. I like it a lot. I think it's going to set up a very exciting game for us, and I'm just happy to be participating in this crazy little thing called HOTS. Shui moving on to that Leoric, as we showed earlier, a hero that he has a lot of experience on last season. So as we take a look here at some stats here for Shui, we're gonna see that. Here we go. So Shui, Leoric, was his most played hero last season. Very strong win rate the team had last season, but he participated 86% of kills. Showed a pretty broad hero pool of 12, high KDA of 6 for a solo laner. That's a solo laner is going to be on the front lines a lot. That is quite good. But we are now moving into the match, and as we do, we are going to see on the left-hand side, Regen Ghost, Shui on Leoric, Templar on Anubarak, Zolcan on Maiev, Cuban Missile, Jaina, and Kriv going to be on that Tyrande. So Kriv back to that support role. On the right, Loxley going to be on Diablo, Bacon going to be on Raynor, Key going to be on Ana, Rosai going to be on Blaze, and Grizzly64 going to be on Junkrat. They are in too deep. We've been spoiled this series. We've been spoiled with absolutely fantastic play. Let's hope that keeps going. I'm excited for this game number 3. The only rule is don't go over 45 minutes. I have a doubleheader match, but already the engage is coming out, and there's the tether. Anubarak enabling Maiev to get the pull with that stun slow, and Loxley is just in so much trouble. Oh my goodness, Key is just willing Loxley alive. Key with amazing clutch heals there. And you see the single target focus versus the AoE focus. Ultimately, Key keeping alive Diablo. This is a great start to the match. Once again, we're seeing kind of these chess match engages with a lot of really good planned combos, but Templar going to disrupt these rotations. Now Maiev threatening to dive in. Diablo, though, coming in on the rotation will make them think twice. Take a look at those talents. We're seeing Raynor not going with the off-picked ace in the hole, instead going with the give him some pepper stacking talent. Ana still going with that W build despite the nerfs that came down the line today. We'll see if he still goes the anti-healer grenade, and if so, what that's going to do. Walk-in freezer. I like it, Wono. I like it. The walk-in freezer. I like the icebox better, though, I think. But, ooh boy, Anubarak stepping up aggressively. Good sleep there. Well-timed. Key with just exceptionally well-timed stuns in this series. Always with just the right timing on the follow-up. I've been very impressed by his play. Rosai, meanwhile, clearing up this top lane. Double soak race here. The Khazra camp helping Shui clear this. Bacon stepping up onto Shui, trying to get some stacks. Already up to 6. Level 4 here, though. Zolcan looking at Grizzly. Not able to get the tether. Yeah, everyone is... So we did get a movement speed change today, too, and I wonder how much that's maybe affecting teams. They seem to be reacting very well, but Loxley caught out there. That time, Key not able to get the save. Then just no healer in the game could heal enough there. Just kind of caught out a little bit. But yeah, that's something we haven't really talked about yet. Everyone is moving faster right now. The movement speed of every hero was increased slightly. And these two teams really haven't seemed to miss a beat despite that fact. If anything, it's led to some pretty exciting team fights with a lot of interesting rotation situations. So I'm excited to hear in the post-game for whoever wins how they feel about the patch today, if it affected their game plan at all. Key still going biotic enhancements. We'll see if the level 7 healing grenade comes in with the reduced range, but Loxley once again in an awkward position with just that extra CC. Diablo gonna go down once again. And that's not a good situation here. Not a good start here for Diablo. That is, I believe, his it's only his second death, but only 12 souls so far. And this will secure the first shrine here for Regen Ghost. Much faster start to the game. Yeah, but Monkus, couldn't you argue that the movement speed also enabled Regen Ghost to close faster? Yeah. Thinking emoji. Blaze pushing up the top, trying to get some tower damage. Meanwhile, the Frozen Punisher coming down. Loxley out in front needs to be careful here. We don't want another situation getting caught out. There's a lot of CC yet, and Ana kind of comes in terms of her healing potential and burst healing potential pretty late in the game. But there's a stun onto Maiev now. Heals coming in on the Loxley. Maiev gonna use that blink to get away. The root lands onto Key. Key now having to turn that trade off, but he's gonna get jumped on by John Cena, and Key's gonna get pulled back by Maiev and taken down. Bacon now trying to get away, but Diablo is also rooted, and this is a disaster for In Too Deep, as just this Maiev combo is ruining the experience of In Too Deep here. Already down a level, 5 kills to 0. And playing very aggressively, this hyper-aggression working very well. And they're really showing how you can take advantage of an Ana comp early. Ana, with her burst healing not coming online until late, it's going to be hard for her to save those targets. And when they just have so much CC and it's all on point, Zul'Kan, Kriv, Templar moving as a single unit to maximize that stun time. It's paying off very well for them. So far, Regen Ghost dominating this game. We'll see if In Too Deep can get back into this. They managed to get back into the last game. They weren't able to win it, but they had opportunities. Right now, they don't have an opportunity if things keep going as they are. Grizzly needs to be careful. He doesn't have Ripper Air yet. Here comes Maiev on the blink. There's the stun. Grizzly getting pulled back. Stun is going to secure. Here comes a re-engage. 4v4, though, not because the Junkrat is dead. Trying to get onto Kriv. There's the focus. Kriv doing everything he can to heal up. Getting slowed. There's the jet charge. Tyrande should go down. Tyrande's still alive. Good stun, but it's not enough. But now Bacon a little bit out of position. Getting focused here by Zul'Kan. Key having a hard time getting on to Loxley. Getting pushed back by that Maiev. Loxley goes down once again. They managed to get one kill, but now level 10s, and they're still level 8. About 1.1 levels away from being able to team fight again. So this should be a good opportunity for Regen Ghost to get control of this map. This has been an exciting series, but this last game right now, it's turning into a one-side affair. I want to see In Too Deep get back into this. They're getting picked off here. Once they get level 10s, it could help. Level 13 will be big. Ripper Air. It'll enable Diablo to get that charge. Ana will be able to cleanse out some of these slows, or she may go with the stun armor. Junkrat getting cocooned. Are they going to go for this pick? Looks like maybe a miscommunication. They maybe want to go for the pick. Not sure what the goal there. Cocoon is a relatively short cooldown. We'll see if they regret not having it early on this next shrine. Level 10s are here. We have Containment Disc, Ring of Frost, Entomb, Shadowstalk, and Cocoon, as we saw, versus APOC, Riptire, Hyperion, Nano Boost, and Combustion. Are we going to get a Nano Boost Combustion? Is that the play? I'm kind of surprised just because of how spread out the team's getting. I expected Eye of Horus, especially when there's not a ton of ability damage on the side of In Too Deep, but Key has played well. I'm willing to trust him. I'm willing to see how this plays out. The Nano Boost Combustion could be strong if that is indeed the play. You could also get a Nano Boost Riptire. See what happens. Maiev coming in, Containment Disc on the Diablo. There's the Riptire, but Grizzly getting separated out. Here comes the APOC. Who's it going to collect? It doesn't really collect anyone other than Loxley, but already with a kill. Combustion coming in, hits no one. And a little bit of a lack of coordination here on the side of Into Deep with their ultimate usage. But Shui still going to go down in the back. So it's a 4v4 situation. Junkrat will be back soon, but granted, Leoric can come back in this fight very quick. Zolcan jumping in onto Key onto the back. Good sleep dart there by Shui, and that's going to enable a re-engage with the flip onto Zolcan. Zolcan going to vault out. Now Zolcan getting healed up with that Loon's Chosen, which is very valuable on this map, being able to attack the minions. And now both teams back up at 5 strength. Looking for the engage. There they go. On to Jaina. There's the stun. Loxley manages to get the kill. The Shrine minions are in favor of Regen Ghost. Zolcan looking to finish. Needs 2 more minions. But the Shrine currently being controlled by Into Deep. Good stun there. Are they going to be able to find those 2 more minions? Key getting a lot of damage on the Templar. Templar going to try to get out. Going to be saved here by the Tyrande. Shui below 20 health. Blue team manages to get out despite everything, and Zolcan goes down to Bacon, and Into Deep steals his Punisher, and they are back in this game, and Shui goes down, and what a clean fight there by Into Deep. They regrouped, they got Junkrat back, they fought extremely well, fantastic engage by Loxley, and just really good zoning out the objective. Only 2 more minions needed by Regen Ghost, but they weren't able to find them, and Zolcan gets picked out on the backside trying to steal them. Shui going to come back up. Needs to be careful. Is he in a bad spot? He could get John Cena'd. He does. Oh, no. Ripperoni. Little bit of a anti-synergy there by Loxley. Lunar Flare comes out onto Loxley. That's just getting stacks. Tyrande has yet to pick a level 13. See what comes in. Although, ooh, there is... Oh boy, Ring of Frost going to land on the Key. Key is going to go down. That was a good containment disc. And the containment disc and the cocoon going to enable some 3v5 fighting. But now Loxley in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Combustion trying to secure the getaway. Loxley is low. Zolcan on the backline. Zolcan bit too aggressive. No support from the team. And Zolcan's going to go down. But the chase is on. Bacon gets hit by the Lunar Flare. Great Lunar Flare there by Kriv. Going to secure the kill with the follow-up by Jaina. And now Rosai in a world of hurt getting perma-slowed by this Jaina. And there is the skeletal swing to secure the kill. Loxley now running for his life, but Loxley is going to drop, and that is 3 kills despite Zolcan getting killed. Really good re-engage, lots of slows here by the Jaina and the Leoric. It makes the disengages quite difficult. We did see the smelling salts taken, but Key was down. With as many slows they have, you know, it's a tough choice because you need that armor for the stuns, but you also really have to worry about the roots and the slows, so it's a tough talent choice there for Jaina. Armor has paid off at times, so we'll see if it can pay off again. Camp stolen, though. Still a lead. A little bit of one by Regen Ghost, but the map's equalized out quite a lot. 5 structures to 5. And, you know, wall down top. Wall's still standing for Regen Ghost, so pretty even game. Still, it seems like when Into Deep wins a fight, they're winning it by the skin of their teeth. They're barely getting the kills. And it seems like when Regen Ghost starts to win a fight, they just kind of steamroll. And I'm worried about what potential that is. As the death timers get longer, if you're getting these 3-man kills, those turn into keeps, those turn into cores. So we're going to need to see Into Deep be a little bit more consistent here. It's kind of been feast or famine a little bit for them, and even then when they feasted, it's not been a particularly large feast, other than that one triple kill, which kind of came off some misplays. But Bruiser taken. Now this Bruiser camp, it's going to kind of just walk right underneath, unless it gets vision of the tower. Yeah, it's just going to walk right underneath and feed onto this keep wall, but... Push now coming, trying to get this fort before the next shrine comes up. We are due for an Arcane Punisher, so we'll see what happens there. Level 16 already here. Ooh, Rosai getting spotted out by Templar. You don't want to fight right now if you're Into Deep. You want to grab that level 16. It's going to be big for Ana to have that active reload, which is what I expect. Although maybe we see a different talent. I've seen a few alterations here and there. It's going to be the Sharpshooter, so Key going to trust the aim. Now, Sharpshooter can be exceptionally strong, but if you miss, you get really punished for it. I tend to like active reload for the consistency, but Ana You know, Key is an excellent support player, so we'll see what happens. Loxley gonna get the containment disc there. No Cocoon. There's the APOC immediately coming out. Here comes the Combustion moving into the team. Ring of Frost going to get onto Loxley. Loxley starting to take the damage. Ana not able to heal up. There's the Nano Boost onto Grizzly, but not able to secure any kills. Ana gets Cocooned onto the backside. Lunar Flare going to help secure the kill on to the Junkrat. And my goodness, Leo going to be the only death here. 4 kills, to 1. That was a really well played fight. The containment disc and the cocoon just causing all sorts of trouble for the members of In Too Deep. But a catapult is pushing mid. Keep wall going to go down. Looks like we are seeing Regen Ghost wanting to set up a position where they can end this game. Rosai needs to be careful. He could get engaged on now. Now you see him back up as soon as the gate starts to drop. Jaina, meanwhile, about to finish up this camp. Needs one more minion. We're going to get a 5-man defense, though. But this is an Arcane Punisher. This is post 16. If a couple kills come in, this could be game ending. Cocoon going to be up in 9. Containment Disc already up. Ultimate's actually going to be up sooner for the members of Regen Ghost. We're still waiting on Hyperion. We haven't really seen the value out of Combustion that we've needed. That Combustion Riptire trying to get some big AoE damage, get that burst kill, hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens. Diablo getting engaged on. There's the Entomb. Charging in, looking for the APOC. Stuns coming in. Good unstoppable by Leoric. Loxley is going to drop here. Here comes the Ring of Frost. Combustion mostly neutered. Now Blaze on the wrong side of the enemy team. He's going to go down. And this is falling apart quickly after 2 exceptionally close back and forth games. Regen Ghost got tired of playing with their food. They put their foot on the gas, and they are going to take map 3 unless Hyperion really secures some kills. Shui getting out of that, and that will be the game. And what an excellent game plan on map 3. Maiev and Anubarak. You see why they get banned out a lot, and some interesting bans in that game 3, but definitely Regen Ghost really just had the aggression. And with Ana, it takes a long time to ramp up to be able to get there. And when Ana's getting cocooned, it's just so difficult to make an impact in those fights. Loxley really had a hard time getting good engages, getting picked out a lot there. But Regen Ghost, gonna take the map, gonna take the series 2-1. We're gonna see if we can do a post-game interview. We'll be right back here on the Nexus Gaming series. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back, and I am joined by Zulkan, the assistant captain for Regen Ghost. You guys got into a hole early in the series, down 1-0 in what was really one of the best games I've ever casted. Game 2, very back and forth. You managed to eke it out. And Game 3, really turned on the Jets. You guys improved map to map. What do you think you attribute that kind of improvement from Game 1 to Game 3 to?
Well, what's funny is, through these practices, we've always talked about, there are going to be times where we lose game 1 and we have to have a good mentality. We have to be able to shake it off. We had a few, we've definitely had some ups and downs in off season, personalities, communication, everything from you name it, rebounding rosters and stuff like that. So I think we're actually, this team is ready for some adversity. We had a great meeting probably the Sunday before the season started that says, we got to switch gears and be ready for games like this. And it was a great series from game 1 to 3. I immediately, I never usually reach out, but I reached out to the captain and was like, that was just a really fun series from head to toe.
It really was a good series. So I'm just going to ask this. I think I know the answer. Game one, what do you think your team really kind of struggled with the most that ultimately led to the loss?
The protects were just game changing, but the big thing I think we called out in a lot of that was just clumping for Leyline. I mean, you
Mm.
saw it. We had a perfect opportunity to rotate on Malthael. I know I missed a slow, but still, I think even in the execution, we still get that. But we were very clumped for ley lines. Like every ley line hit more than three
Yeah.
people, not even just two at that point. They hit three.
Yeah, it,
So
it seemed to garner it seemed to garner some respect for you based on the drafts in game 2 and 3.
sure, yeah, no, I mean it's something. I think if we play, against another Medivh, I think right from the loading screen comms, we're going to be saying, avoid clumping, because we need to be ready for it.
Yep.
But we just weren't game one. That's okay.
So game two, you guys, you didn't win the first two immortals by much. I mean, they were both below 30% health, but you converted both those immortals into structures. The second one into a keep. What do you attribute that to in terms of how do you play around? Okay, our immortals low health. We need to get value off this. How do you do that?
Well, so within drafting, we knew right from pick one that we were going to be drafting a fighting team. Like we weren't gonna fall into the common trope of drafting race and drafting all out race
Mm.
like you can on that map. It's not uncommon. But then when we actually saw that they were drafting for team fight two, it's every time with double support that you can win an objective. As long as you can keep the one burner. So it was Cassia in that game, away from the immortal. It was just the comms were flooded. Was just keep Cassie away, keep Cassie away. The healers can only do so much to help assist with that, but Cassie was the only immortal burner at that point. So the pushes became more and more. So I think we got out a lot with what little health the immortals had every single time just by doing that.
So something I kind of didn't even catch it when I first saw it because I've seen you play Alarak before. We tried out on the same team together at one point. I think I saw you play Alarak at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
well, yeah,
you played Tyrande game two.
No, no, no. So we actually baited it. I drafted Alarak, and
Mhm.
then we swapped it over to Kriv.
Okay.
So it's something that we're working on. We've had a few roster changes, and we kind of just this especially this series we went into it with, let's just draft our strong suits, let's draft comforts. So we actually put me on Anduin for that game. So
Yeah, that was it. Anduin. Sorry, I said Tyrande, and that was a mistake. So yeah, I mean, you played Anduin very well. You had some good cleanses there. With that, game three. Do you feel that that was just like draft? You kind of had rock, and they had scissors, or do you think that you were just executing better?
no, shout outs. I gotta give it to Kriv for mentioning it in draft. We were drafting for full blow up in the cage. We were gonna go salvo on Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna go Starfall. And then Shui mentioned, Leoric is great, and we do like the double soak, but I don't particularly love Cage and
Mm-hmm.
Entomb because they kind of do the same thing. But then when we looked what we had, Kriv called out we could just do Containment Disc and Cocoon, and
Mm-hmm.
I love Cage. I love Cage. I've taken it 90% of the time. But it kind of made sense there where we already had the Entomb that kind of acted like Cage. So if we could double remove tanks and push through, it's. I mean, you kind of saw glimpses of it.
Right.
Was it perfect? Was it perfect? No. But I
Yeah.
think I think for a last minute game changing
Mm-hmm.
comms there, I think we performed it pretty well.
Well, I really think that the aggression did you guys quite a lot of favors there. Again, I'm joined by Zolcan for some people joining of the Victorious Regen Ghost Series 2-1. The Maev plays really were good at kind of separating out Diablo, really keeping him from making good plays. So I got to give you guys credit. With that, do you have any shoutouts before we go and I get set up for my second game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Murdo's been great. He's got what, 5 regen teams to manage now, so
Mhm.
he's done some work to make sure that we all get some spotlight, we get casted, and yada yada yada. It's just great. Answers all the questions. Rec for being a master,
Mm.
of course, and Nick Cupcakes is in the chat cheering us on. She's been there since last season too, so our biggest hype girl. And just the whole regen org, my team played really well, and the other team too. It was a great duke 'em out. And the dream is not dead. That's going to be our catchphrase for the season. The dream's not dead. We're alive. So with that, I'm done.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, best of luck the rest of the season. Hope I get a chance to cast you guys again. I may have actually already signed up to do that just because my time slots are. I have very specific time slots I can cast, and if there's a game in it, I take it. But thank you for letting me cast the series. It was absolutely just a blast to cast. One of the most fun I've have had casting any series in NGS. So thank you for that. And with that, everyone, stick around. I am actually going to take the stream down for a second just to get a couple things fixed with Soothsayer and OBS before the next series starts. So just stay tuned a bit. The stream will come down briefly. It will come right back up. We'll get into our next match. Logical Decision versus Unemployed Gaming. Coming at you from the, I believe, B West division. So should be a great matchup. Can't wait for it. Keep it here and keep watching the Nexus Gaming series. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Stevie. Appreciate it, man.